those people that's tired of people telling you that that's just not good enough? Well, today I'm talking to controlling, combative, outspoken people and their loved ones who so desperately want to say, "Get off my back." Now, my first guest, Tia, says when it comes to her children, everything has to be perfect. Their grades, sports, music. She's even picked out the perfect bride for her 14-year-old son. Now, her husband, Scott, says she just needs to lighten up and step off. Take a look.
Anthony, do you have your homework done? Get up right now. Get up right now and go do the homework.
In my opinion, my wife is crazy. She's very, very obsessed with the lives of our 3 kids.
Anthony, you need to go practice your instrument. Have you practiced your instrument yet?
I don't think I'm hard on my kids. I think I'm a great parent. I think that I'm doing everything I need to do in order to have them be successful.
Every parent should be like me. What grade did you get on your science test?
100%.
Do you have a copy of it? Well, when you get done with your snack, I want you to go through the book bag and find it.
Why you need to see it?
Because I want to double check.
I know it's a good thing to follow up on your children, but being this obsessed is another story. Wow.
Scott, don't say wow, because every single time I say something to Anthony, you say wow. Is it so bad?
Scott and I never, ever agree about how to parent our kids. Scott tells me all the time that I'm stressing the kids out. I'm not stressing the kids out.
I'm sick of my mom wanting me to be perfect. It's too hard trying to be perfect.
I'm a 7th grade middle school teacher. Being a teacher definitely affects the way that I parent, because I see kids not coming in prepared with homework, and I say, my kids will never do that.
My wife goes through Anthony's book bag. She questions him constantly about tests, quizzes, homework.
Got the kids' report cards. Avante had straight A's, and I was really, really excited until I looked up and there was 17 tardies. How in the world can my child have 17 tardies? Scott, his comment was, well, they didn't miss anything. I said he did miss something. He missed 5 minutes of school.
Good job, Anthony. Good job. Now, when is your next science test?
I don't know.
Okay, well, you need to find out.
I want all A's. That's my goal for them. That's the only thing that's acceptable with me.
Mariah, you're going to be an excellent teacher when you grow up. Avante, you're going to be a lawyer. No one is going to be a better lawyer than you. Anthony, you are definitely Dr. Material.
I don't want to call it perfection, but I want them to be perfect.
Good pass, Anthony, good pass.
I've never played basketball a day in my life. However, when I first saw Anthony play, I knew I saw something in him. So I got a video on how to play basketball.
Flip your wrist, do that. Flick, flick. Oh, yes. Do that again, Anthony, do that again.
What are you doing?
I show Anthony these moves, and he said, Mom, nobody's ever done that move but Michael Jordan. I said, Michael Jordan was the only one who practiced the move.
Move, Scott, move. Oh! You gotta do this every day. I want you to do these about 40 times a day. Hey, daughter-in-law.
Tia has even attempted to arrange my son's marriage, and he's only 14.
When Anthony was 5 years old, I literally found the little girl I thought that he would marry. She's beautiful, she's thoughtful, she's kind, she's sweet. If I can find somebody that I know I'm gonna be happy with, he can easily grow into happiness.
I think she has a husband for our daughter that's only 7.
We were at a basketball game, and there was a little boy there I thought could be a great husband for Mariah because he was so helpful to his mother. I didn't get his name, but I'm gonna be looking for him in the future.
Anthony, I need you to go downstairs and practice your music for at least 30 minutes. As a matter of fact, I'll call you when 30 minutes is up.
I don't think that I need help at all. I think that other people need to be like me.
I want my son Anthony to enjoy his teenage years. Dr. Phil, my wife needs to get off my kid's back.
May I sit down?
You may. You may.
You sure?
I'm sure.
Okay, just checking. How much fun do you live with?
It depends on who you are. I think that I'm fun. I think that I'm fun. I think that I'm fun. I said that 3 times. That's to represent each one of my children.
Yeah, you couldn't even bring yourself to say it a 4th time, could you? Yeah. You've been married how long?
We've been married 15 years.
15 years.
15 years. 15 wonderful years.
Yeah.
Great years, wonderful years.
Yeah. Feels like dog years to you, doesn't it? That'd be about, what, 75, 80 years? I made a list of things I thought you said that were particularly interesting. You said, I don't think I'm hard on them at all. Just what I say is the law, and they accept it.
That's true. They are definitely just ducks in order. They really are. I tell them to do it, and they just go with the flow. But Anthony is kind of like, I think the teenage years have made him rebel because in the beginning, he was fine with it, and I won't accept anything other than be fine with it.
What if you being over-involved and taking the initiative in everything you do cheats your son out of that experience of self-mastery because he never says, I picked this, I did this, I achieved this, but rather he says, my mother made me do this. This is my mother's dream, want, passion, and achievement. What if he never comes to love and accept himself as a competent young man? How would that be?
It would be terrible. I don't know, I guess I never really thought about it like that because I always felt that I would be there to guide him.
But what happens if something happens to you? What if all of a sudden you're gone and he's left and he's sitting there like, well, I should study, but my cue's not here. My driving force isn't here. Wouldn't that be tragic?
It would be tragic.
What if he never learns to love himself because he was never good enough for his mother?
Sad.
You know, we have 2 boys. Robin and I have 2 boys, 25 and 18. We always told our boys, you got 2 jobs growing up. Number 1's to get an education. That meant in school and in life, but you have to get an education. And number 2, have a really good time doing it. Because I didn't want to grow a couple of bookworms. I wanted a balanced child that, you know, had fun, and, you know, sometimes they would make B's, sometimes they would make A's, sometimes they would score 14 points, sometimes they would get shut out. But every time, I can remember, Robin, when our boys would walk off the basketball court having lost, you know, like a really close one. I remember we lost a couple early on, like 40-2. And our message to him when he walked off the court is, boy, you should really be proud of yourself because you really played hard today. And I know, but we got smeared. I know, but you really played hard. You should really be proud of yourself. And you just kind of see him go, well, I did work hard, you know. And they found some value in every experience. I would hate for your children to grow up and say, one thing I know for sure is I was never good enough for my mother. Wouldn't that be tragic?
That would be tragic.
Now, my next guest, Deanna, says her husband called himself the king of the castle. Now, Mike said he was the boss and he knew best. Now, you're going to remember them, so take a look at the tape and then we'll talk.
I'm in charge of this family, and what I say goes.
My husband believes that he is king of the castle. It's his way or it's the highway.
It's my way or the highway. You said that a number of times. So who left you in charge? Are you a psychologist?
No, sir.
You a sociologist?
I have coached adult men's softball.
She ain't second base, she's your wife.
When I tell you to shut your suckhole, it is because you're being so stupid.
Shut your suckhole. Yeah.
Sorry. I can't do anything right. I can't feed my cat right.
The cat eats 24 hours a day, and it's not healthy for a cat.
I can't take a shower correctly, brush my teeth right.
There's a proper way to brush your teeth. She has very sensitive gums, and she's bleeding all the time.
He will nitpick me to death.
He's taught you how to take a shower?
Well,
He taught you how to brush your teeth?
Well, no, I just don't do it correctly.
Oh my God, she's defending him.
Dee Dee calls me a perfectionist. Here's a vent. As you can see, very dirty. I don't think I'm a perfectionist, it's just my routine. What's that mailbox?
His tone is like a degrading one.
We just got through eating, but usually the plate's set out here until it's bedtime. I won't live in filth.
You have all of these high and lofty standards, but you're like out with your friends 3-4 times a week, right?
She's welcome to come to any of my functions.
And do what with the kids? Hang them like bats in the garage?
You've made $40 and you wouldn't put it in our checking account. You finally contributed to the family and you put it in your own personal checking account. There's nobody gonna think that's right.
You're so smart. How come your wife is separating from you 2 or 3 times a year and divorce is always one blow up away.
Kyle, let's do your homework, bud.
Kyle's very scared of his father.
I think Kyle should be afraid of me. I won't let my children embarrass me.
Since then, she says her relationship with Mike has improved dramatically. Now, the question on their mind is what happens if old habits start to reappear? If Mike gets back in her face and starts dominating again? Are you proud of the changes that you have made, or are you white-knuckling to keep from going back to doing what you were doing before?
No, I'm very proud of what I've done, and I've worked real hard at it. And it's turned out to be pretty easy.
So you don't think that's weakness?
No. I don't think
on
so.
your part?
No.
How do you think he's doing?
I think that he's just more relaxed, and the whole house environment's more relaxed. So I just see a complete change in him. I mean, I don't fear that he's going to go back to those ways.
Well, you said the message boards really bothered you.
Yes, it is.
You know, I wrote down a few of the things they said to Deanna. Run, run, run. You should tell Mike to get his butt out and don't let the door hit him on the way out. He's nothing but a bully. He is frightening. Get out. He's beaten you down enough. He's the worst nightmare in the flesh for a woman. Those were hard things to hear, right?
Very hard.
What did you think when you read them?
I didn't realize it was that bad, I don't guess. I mean, we'd got caught up in the moment so much that we'd been in a rut for so long, and it just happened, and we didn't even see it coming. And I was tore up.
I think we put our relation on the back burner, and just all we did was just fight with each other, and because the whole 9 years of marriage hasn't been like that. And I think that that's what a lot of people thought, that I've lived my life like that for 9 years, and that was not true.
Did you think that I was going to support him?
No, absolutely not.
So you knew better.
Yeah.
You just didn't tell him you knew better.
Smarter than I am.
Well, it didn't matter what I said, because I think that it didn't matter to him because he really thought he was right.
You guys have made a huge shift in direction, and I get the feeling this isn't a cosmetic shift with you, this is a value shift.
Yes, sir.
I mean, you've changed the way you define your worth and value as a man.
Exactly.
The thing that I want to say in answer to your question about what happens when we disagree, how do we keep a fight from getting into a screaming match? When people get into an argument, they usually go into it with one attitude, which is, we need to discuss this. And about 30 seconds into it, it's like, I don't like your tone of voice. Take no prisoners, win. We try to be right. Now, the shift that I see in your value that's so important is you came into this relationship with a sense of entitlement. I'm at the top, and everything else falls in line. I think what you've done is say, this is a partnership. This is my life partner here, and in a competition, there's a winner and a loser. And that means in order for one of you to win, your partner has to be a loser. You would never want her to be a loser, would you? That's how we think about competition, is that we're going to grind somebody down. What I want you to do is approach disagreements with this priority. I want my views to be heard. I want to be sure that they're weighed carefully by my partner, and I'm going to commit to really hear their views. And then it becomes a negotiation, not a competition. And I've always had an attitude about negotiation. Step number one, figure out what the other side really wants. I tell that to teenagers that are saying, Mom, let me stay out until 1 o'clock. And she says no, and it's a negotiation. Like, what does Mom really want? What she's worried about is safety. If you're ever going to win, you're going to have to meet her need that you get the safety problem, you have a plan to mitigate that, so her needs being met. And my second step is to figure out how to get the other side as much of what they want as I possibly can. Do you have a story or a question for me? Click the link in the description and tell me what in the world is going on.